Welcome to Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking features delicious recipes and cooking tips from the Gulf Coast's finest chefs and restaurants. Watch as popular local chefs prepare their special dishes with natural gas. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient, natural gas.
My guest today is the corporate executive chef at Wind Creek Hospitality, Chef Peter D'Andrea.
All right.
So good to have you back.
Thank you. This is one of the best events I do.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. And listen, our viewers are in for a treat today. Well, you've got a complete meal for us.
I do. We're doing a little light Italian fare today.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with a seasonal greens, Ricotta Salata, which is one of my favorite cheeses. And then we're going to grill a piece of ciabatta bread, rub it with a little garlic, so we have a little bruschetta. This is a knife and fork plate.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
All right, good. So here we go. We our seasonal greens today, we have a great mix. We have kale, we have arugula, we have mizuno, and we have a few other little local greens. They're all grown in the Foley area.
Oh, good.
We picked them yesterday. So that's going to be a nice tasty bite. It holds up well with the cheese. We have a honey lemon dressing today that we're going to make. But we're going to start off with this ricotta salata.
Okay.
This is ricotta cheese that is pressed and aged for a minimum 90 days.
Oh.
This one is imported. This one came from Sicily, the Pecorino region. And it's one of my favorite. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer this dish. So we're going to slice the cheese.
Look how beautiful that cheese is.
Just if you'd like, just take a piece of that.
This is a treat.
This is a treat.
This is a treat.
This is a treat. This is a special order cheese that I get, and our customers love it.
The flavor is out of this world.
It is. It's got a great salt ratio to it.
Good texture too.
Yes, and this, believe it or not, we found this out by mistake. If you were to take a blowtorch and blowtorch this cheese, it brulees up better than any cheese you've ever seen. So what you can do is you can take this cheese and you can make a salad. You can cut it in a round. You can get your blowtorch and caramelize it. It adds a whole new dimension to it.
Wow.
A whole new dimension. So here we go. So we're just gonna.
So you've got a nice.
We're gonna use a few pieces of that.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna take our bread. This is a nice basic ciabatta bread. We're gonna take it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little olive oil on it, and then I'm gonna put it on my grill pan.
Oh, yeah, and brown it.
So I'm gonna put a little olive oil on it, put it on my grill pan, and we're gonna get some great marks on that.
Oh.
While we're marking that up, we're gonna make the dressing.
Okay. And this is a vinaigrette?
This is a honey vinaigrette, lemon honey vinaigrette. What I've done is I've taken already some lemon zest, and for those of you that don't know what a zester is, this is a zester. It's very simple. You take your lemon, you start it on the top, and you come down, and you get just the outside. You don't want the white pith. You just want that. You can smell the aroma.
And listen, you talking about flavor?
Absolutely.
That is the best flavor.
Absolutely.
In just about anything.
In anything. You're right. It makes the dish pop.
It does.
It makes the dish pop.
Does.
So what we're going to do with this is we would take it and we would blanch it. We'd get hot water, just put it in there for 4 or 5 seconds, take it and shock it. I've already done that, and that's right here.
Now, why do you do that?
It takes away some of the bitterness.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just takes away, it's lemon zest.
I have never done that, but I'm going to.
It just takes away some of the bitterness. There it is, perfect. So for now, I don't need that. So I take my dressing, my bowl, and today's recipe calls for honey. So right now I have 2 teaspoons of honey. All right, a little black pepper, and of course, as always, you should, use a pepper grinder.
Oh, absolutely.
Fresh. A little black pepper, a little kosher salt, and again, we always use kosher salt. That iodized salt, the iodized salt is good for a few things, but it's not good when
like
you're
gargling.
I wasn't going to say that. Then we're going to take our lemon And I need my lemon juice. So what I don't want is the seeds. So, which I got them in there anyway, but that's all right. I just put a little lemon juice in there. Mm-hmm. I take my whisk. I whisk this all together. And then I take my olive oil.
That's going to be so good.
I have 3 ounces of olive oil. Usually we have our acid, which is our lemon juice, and usually I do about 3 parts olive oil to 1 part acid. And then what I'm doing is just making it a quick emulsion. You can see it thickening up. All right, so perfect. So here's our dressing. We'll put it aside for the moment. Our bread, our bruschetta is done.
Ready. Look at that.
Again, all I wanted was a nice crispness and some of the char marks. And then, like any good Italian,
Garlic.
I take my garlic, I'll smash it, and then I'll just rub it all over the bread.
Oh, look at that.
That gives that fragrant aroma.
Does.
That is what you want.
Flavor,
That is what you want. So we're going to put this on the plate. And again, this is a knife and fork plate. So we're going to put this on the plate. And then we're going to start to layer our salad. This I'll eat later. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take another bowl. We're going to take some of our seasonal greens, enough for the 1 plate. We're going to put them in here. We're going to take our dressing. Now again, I'm one of those chefs that I don't like the dressing swimming over the salad. So we put just a little bit of dressing, just enough to coat it. We take our blanched lemon zest, because it is a lemon honey dressing. So we take our blanched lemon zest, we toss this all together.
It gives the greens such a beautiful sheen,
It does. It does. And these greens, the kale and so on, are thick enough to hold up as I build this salad.
Right.
As you'll see.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I take 1 piece of the ricotta salata. I want it to stick out a little bit. I take some of my greens. I top it. I take another piece of the ricotta salata. I want it to stick out again, a little different angle.
This is my favorite part, watching you all build a plate.
I take some more of my greens. I'm layering, tower. Again, you don't want to hide your cheese. I take another piece of the ricotta salata and top it off.
Oh.
All right. I take a few tomatoes. I'll cut them in pieces. I'll put a tomato. Us chefs, for some reason, we like odd numbers. No one's going to put 4 pieces in there. I'm either going to use 3 or I'm going to use 5. So we'll just use 3 pieces.
I've heard that a lot in design. Odd numbers are good.
And then
appealing to the eye.
I take a little bit of basil oil that I made ahead of time, which is just soaking the fresh basil. You chop the fresh basil, soak it in olive oil, drain it, and press it.
Oh,
so
wow.
I have a little bit of basil oil.
Look at that color.
Just a little bit of color. And then I love pepper. A little cracked black pepper on the plate, on the ricotta salata. And here we have it.
Look at that.
You'd eat that with a knife and the fork.
Oh, it's too pretty to eat. But we're not talking about that stop us, are we?
No, we're not. No, we're not. It's light, simple salad.
Elegant. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that first dish. Hey, we've got our entree coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
A very special entree. You don't want to miss it. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
We started KW Homes in 1987, and we've been building custom homes in the area since then. A lot of our customers are asking for natural gas. I went with it in my personal home. I especially like the tankless water heater. When we have family over, we don't run out of hot water, which is great. Just keeps on making it as long as we need it, which is really nice.
Pensacola Energy. Go blue and save green.
Heat pumps don't pump much heat. In fact, heat from an efficient natural gas heater can be 30% warmer, and you can get up to an $800 rebate when you install one. Warming up to natural gas yet? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Local home builders are seeing greater demand for natural gas. Here's what they have to say.
The comments that I've heard from the customers who've had the all-electric homes and moved to a natural gas home are the convenience and ease. Being able to turn their stove on and get that heating just right. And of course, something like the tankless, which would give them the endless hot water. So there is a convenience level that comes with gas, and I think, I want to say comfort. There's a comfort level that comes from having natural gas in your home.
Pensacola Energy. Go blue and save green.
We have a special entree dish.
Yes, ma'am. This is a great dish, one I really like to make because people are amazed by it. It's a grilled and brined salmon and eggplant, and it also has a fennel and a cucumber relish. It's a great combination. The brining holds up well to the fennel, and the fennel is powerful enough to hold up to the brine salmon.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by making the relish. Fennel, okay? One of my favorites is growing up. I love it shaved very thin on a mandolin.
Yes.
Iced for about 20 minutes, drained, patted dry, a little salt, pepper, and olive oil. I can eat it all day long.
Oh,
that's
but
my
you're
favorite.
Italian.
That's my favorite way to eat it. Now, you can take this and use the fawns as a garnish. You can take this and you can poach them, make a little soup out of them. There is some things for most people just throw them away, but you'd want to be a little more creative than that. For now, I'll just put it aside. So we take our fennel, and like anything, you don't want the outer bulbs. We'll just put those away. And then I want to slice this and I want to dice it. So what I'm going to do is slice it.
And fennel tastes like licorice.
Fennel tastes like licorice. It's got a great flavor to it.
A good bite too.
It's got a good bite to it, which is what you want. You want things that have a bite to them. You want things that have taste to them, flavor.
And that's full of it.
Yes. So I'm just going to dice this fine. Because again, this is the relish that goes on the salmon as a garnish. So we just want to dice it fine, and then
You know what makes this dish extra special too?
What's that?
You're going to be preparing this at the Seafood Festival.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm going to be able to educate some of the guests, some of the customers on the brining process. And then, I'm sure there's a lot of them that haven't tasted fennel.
Yes.
It's a great
combination. They can certainly sample it, but Pensacola Energy is again sponsoring the Seafood Grill, which are the cooking demonstrations by our area chefs, and you are our guest chef Friday night, September 30th at 5:30.
At 5:30, right. And I've talked to some of our guests up at the casino that say that it is one of the best festivals they go to.
It is. It's wonderful. It's all about seafood.
That's right.
And, all of the chefs will be preparing their special seafood dishes, and this is one of yours. So I'm excited to have you there.
I'm doing this one as well as an oyster dish. So I like to leave just a little bit of cucumber skin on it. I don't like an awful lot of it. Some people peel all of it. Some people don't peel any of it. I like the color. I do think it's a little bitter, but I like the color enough where I leave some of it on. So
you actually know it's a cucumber.
You actually know it's a cucumber. So what I have here is I have the fennel, I have the cucumber, I've taken fresh dill, and I'm going to chop that. I'm going to mix the fresh dill in there. I have a shallot, which is just a small, sweeter onion. So I'm going to slice and dice that.
Is this this is a refrigerated salad?
It's a relish.
Relish?
It can stay unrefrigerated for an hour or so.
Okay.
It doesn't have to stay refrigerated.
But is it better the next day?
Like anything, it is. All the flavors.
I'm thinking of all these flavors, and I thought, ooh, that would be good.
So I put in my shallot,
Next day.
cucumber, fennel, dill. I'm going to put in a little cider vinegar.
Okay.
Okay. It adds a little intensity to it. I'm going to add a little salad oil to give it some viscosity and some body. I'm going to take a little sugar, put some sugar in there. The sugar sweetens it up a tad. Toss it all up. A little kosher salt.
This is a good relish for any type of fish.
It sure is.
It?
Yep. So there's our relish. Now it's going to sit here till we finish our dish.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our salmon, which is brined. So salmon has been brining now for 2 hours. You don't want it to brine any longer than the 2 hours. What it is I've switched the recipe to have more salt for the intensity to brine quicker. Because usually when you come home from a day of work and you're ready to start your dinner, you don't have 6-8 hours to brine a dish. So if you increase the salt, and the recipes are on your website, if you increase the salt the way the recipe is, it brines much quicker. But if you over brine it, it's going to taste too salty.
Too salty. I've done that before.
A lot of people have. And also the eggplant. The eggplant is a twist to this recipe. We're going to only brine the eggplant for about a half hour maximum. Because what you want to do is you want to draw the bitterness out. You want to draw the moisture out of it first off. And that's what the brine does. It draws the moisture out, the salt out. It makes it has a completely different texture, which you'll see.
Really?
So I have my pan nice and hot. I want to take my salmon. I want to just pat it dry. So it's out of the brine. I just want to pat it dry.
Now, would you do this to all fish or just salmon?
Well, a meaty fish.
Okay.
A meaty fish. I mean, you wouldn't do it with a piece of sole, fillet of sole.
Okay.
A nice meaty fish, absolutely. So I take my salmon, I pat it dry because I don't want it to stick. My pan is nice and hot. I'm going to take it, and what I want to do is I just want to cook it. I'm not going to, this dish could be finished in the oven. Since we're not going to eat it now, we don't have to put it in the oven. Or you can finish it all on the pan, it all depends. So I have that. I have my eggplant. Same thing, I want to take my eggplant, I want to pat it dry. For plating purposes, I need 3 pieces of eggplant.
Okay. Now, and they don't have to be the same size?
They don't have to be the same size. Now, you don't have to have 3 pieces of eggplant. I talked in the last segment about how chefs, you know, like
that odd number.
They like that odd number. So we take 3 pieces of eggplant.
Now, how thick did you do does it matter how thick your slices are?
It really doesn't matter. It's, it doesn't matter. It's what you like. It's what your mouthfeel is. It all depends. It all depends. So we're going to take a minute break. Come back, and we should be able to flip this and go from there.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be right back after these messages.
Natural gas dryers may cost a little more than electric ones, but they dry clothes quicker, making them cost half as much to run. So now who's getting taken to the cleaners? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com. Heat pumps don't pump much heat. In fact, heat from an efficient natural gas heater can be 30% warmer, and you can get up to an $800 rebate when you install one. Warming up to natural gas yet? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
I would say majority of our homeowners that come in and talk to us and see us, that is one of the first items that gets brought up would be natural gas. A lot of our customers are on the energy efficiency side. There's really no way you can argue the efficiency of gas over power, in my opinion. That is a very, very big selling point in our houses is natural gas.
Go blue and save green with natural gas from Pensacola Energy. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Cooking with natural gas is more controlled than using an electric range. But more importantly, they're less expensive to operate. Don't get burned with electric. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Our grilled salmon entree is ready.
Yes, ma'am. Ready to plate. So what we have here is we have our eggplant. Again, it was brined. It's now grilled. So to plate it, I'm just going to put 3 pieces of the eggplant on the plate.
This is a great outdoor dish to make, isn't it, on the grill? Have your relish ready?
So I'm going to take the salmon, which is already cooked now.
It looks
I'm going to put my salmon on the plate. I'm going to take our relish, our fennel, cucumber, dill relish. I'm going to spoon that over the fish. Just like that. I still have some of our basil oil left from previously. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to ring the plate with a little basil oil to add a little color and a little more flavor. And it could be dill oil to tie in with with the dish. Just a nice green and the extra virgin olive oil.
Oh, it sets that plate off, doesn't it?
And when you eat that with the flavor and the moistness and the richness of all that, it's going to be wonderful.
I can't wait.
Wonderful.
But I'm going to have to because we've got a dessert to do.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to put that right here.
Okay.
And then we're going to move on to our shortcake.
Yes.
So, this time of year, it's strawberries, it's blueberries. I chose strawberries. They would look the best at the market. What I did was I just sliced them. I macerated them with sugar. What I did was I just took, raw white sugar, sprinkled it on it, and as you can see, all the juices from the strawberries are coming out. If you wanted to, at this point, you could take any alcohol you'd like, tequila, Sambuca, to keep in the Italian theme. You can put some Sambuca in there. You can mix a little Grand Marnier in there to add another little flavor.
Perfect.
Whatever you like, just to add another punch to it. You could take some of that zested lemon that we had, sprinkle that on top, toss it in to get that lemon flavor. Another use for the zest.
Great.
So what we have here is we have our shortcake, and this is the dough. You'll see it's a very simple dough. The only difference between this and most other shortcake doughs is that I use self-rising flour.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it gives it a little puff and a little more lightness. So this is the dough. It's durable. It's pliable. It's durable. You just take it. You can put it in a 9 by 13 glass dish and make a square. And if you're entertaining 6 or 8 people at home, it's so easy just to cut it into squares. Serve it warm in your plate, or you can do what I did and just take a large cast iron dish and cook it off in that. So how we're going to plate this is we're going to whip a little cream. So I have some heavy cream here.
Let's trade places.
All
That
right.
way you'll be.
All right. I have some
by the
heavy
mixer.
cream there. I'm going to put my blender together. And you can do the same thing with the cream if you so desire to flavor it. You can add liquor to it. Okay, let's see if this is going to work.
There we go.
All right, this is just going to take a moment. And with all whipped cream, you add a little sugar to it for the sweetness. So in the meantime, I'm going to take my, it's not, usually you'd take this as soon as it comes out of the oven.
Right.
For now, this is room temperature. I'm going to take my plate. We're going to cut this.
Oh, look at the texture.
Oh yeah, I mean that's that self-rising flour. And since we're not shy on portions around here, we're just going to do a nice 3 pieces, and we'll save that to taste later.
Okay.
All right, cream is almost done. I'm going to add my sugar. All right. Some people like their cream real stiff. I prefer it to be looser. This way I can just make a nice dollop on it. I'm going to take my strawberries. Now remember, you have to have a little vision here. This is warm, just came out of the oven.
Okay.
I take my strawberries that have been soaking in the sugar. We're going to cover the plate. We're going to not forget any of that juice that's in there.
It's almost like syrup.
Almost like syrup. Absolutely. We're going to take our cream. As I say, I like it nice and soft.
Oh, Peter, look at that.
And there we have it.
Oh,
Strawberry
my
shortcake,
goodness.
macerated strawberries.
What a meal. My goodness, I'm in heaven today.
All right, good.
Let's put this right up here. And I need to give everyone our telephone number, because if you would like to try these at home and get the recipes, you can call Pensacola Energy at 436-5050, or you can visit our website, www.coastalcooking.com. Peter, tell our viewers what you do as a corporate executive chef.
Sure. Well, it's an exciting, interesting job. But my main responsibilities, first and foremost, is wealth creation for the tribe. for all of the tribal members of the Porch Creek Indians. Our job, all of our corporate jobs, are to make them wealthy, give them the money they need to support the community. But my main job operationally is to train our culinarians. It's hard to find qualified cooks to come to Atmore or to Montgomery or to Wetumpka, so we train from within. We train our tribal members, and we train other new hires. So my main job is to working with the training department on working on culinary and service standards. Besides that, I write all the menus for all the outlets. I work with the chefs and we write menus together. And talking about menus, right now we're working on our new fall menus for the Fire restaurant. You know, we'll take away the light dishes and we'll put in some more heavier games. Then put some rabbit on, some quail, venison, so on.
How interesting.
And also I work with our third-party vendors. We just added a new restaurant to Atmore. B.B. King, who's our great partner up in Montgomery, came down and opened up a restaurant in Atmore. It's B.B. King's Blues and Barbecue. Some of the best barbecue around, great atmosphere, great service. Come down and try it.
Yes, I mean, you have just got a great destination.
We do.
You know, you've got great food, there's entertainment, you know, I mean, people can try their luck at, you know, the machines and everything. So, I mean, it's just a wonderful family atmosphere.
It sure is. And it's a great place to come down and try new foods, new alcohol, new fun things.
Absolutely wonderful food. I can attest to that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And we are so excited to have you as our guest chef. Again, at the Seafood Festival, we do the cooking demonstrations with the chefs at the Seafood Grill, and Peter will be doing the salmon dish and one more delicious seafood dish.
An oyster dish, grilled oysters.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
And that'll be Friday night, September 30th at 5:30 p.m.
At 5:30,
So we want everyone to come out for that, and then we'll continue the cooking demonstrations starting at 12 noon on Saturday and 12 noon on Sunday.
Well, good.
We have a great time there. Great weekend.
Good. I'm so glad to be part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you all are the major sponsors.
All right, good.
This year. So we wanted to certainly include you in part of the festivities. And tell us about your food truck.
Well, our food truck is busy.
That has been at the Seafood Festival before.
It has been. And right now it's on the road. It's out doing what it does, charitable contributions to the communities, feeding the first responders and the school kids. And it's always on the road. Always on the road.
You all are so involved in so many communities, and we appreciate it. I know what you do in Pensacola is wonderful. You even sponsor the Mardi Gras parade.
We sure do.
So
we sure do. There's not much we don't sponsor because that's what they do.
They do, and they do it very well.
Okay,
I might add.
And I'm glad to be part of it.
Yes, and of course your food is exemplary. It's just outstanding, and this is an example of food that folks can try at your mini restaurants.
Absolutely. All these dishes come on and off the menu at various times. Right.
Well, we have enjoyed this. It's been a thrill.
Well, good. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Okay. We invite everybody to come out to the Seafood Grill and watch Peter on Friday, September 30th at 5:30. We hope you'll join us. And we want all of you to come back and join us next Sunday for more Coastal Cooking.
This has been Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient, natural gas. Join us each Sunday at 6 p.m. for more Coastal Cooking.